Hi everybody, Gisele Grenier here from artplace.ca. No, I'm not cleaning. I'm not cleaning. I'm going to be doing a journal prompt card, and it's a series now. There's going to be 26 of them, and they're going to be called alphabet prompts. And the first one is the letter A. And journal prompt cards, what they are, they're standalone pieces of art that you can also give to people to basically create a piece of art based on your idea. Okay? Now, journal prompts that I'm also doing an altered book, which is going to hold little journal prompts in words. These are visual, so you look at the artwork. Now, with everything that I'm teaching, you can do this any size you want, on any surface you want, as long as it takes acrylic paints. And everything that I'm showing you here, okay, I may use some, all, or add to, but everything I actually do use will be listed at the end of the video, so you don't need to take notes. The whole thing with this one is going to be about texture, and when you think of the letter A, what's the first thing that comes to mind? An apple, which is what I'm going to use. That'll be my theme for this. And I've got a whole bunch of texture things here. I've got a Crafter's Choice roller. This is from Royal Nickel. Going to use that for some texture tools from Deco Art, and a whole bunch of found pieces. Oh, and I've got also a stencil with the letter A. Okay, going to use that. This is from this is from my Canson Mixed Media book, and I actually kept it's perforated, but I kept this piece. Okay, these are for die cuts. Okay, kept those. These are what I use a lot of these for when I do gelatin monoprinting. But any found objects. This is from this is from another die cut. This is from a package of bacon. Okay, my favorite, bubble wrap. Okay, and I left this is from an envelope, and I actually tore the paper off, and I left it like that. Okay, the other thing that I have, okay, torn book page, which I'm going to tear, or you can just use white paper and just tear that. Put that aside. 4x6, 140-pound cold pressed watercolor paper. The paints I'm going to be using will be Deco Art Traditions. Okay, and the colors that I have: titanium white, carbon black, burnt sienna, yellow deep, derelid yellow, naphthalus hue, blue gray, and phthalo green blue. Okay, so I've got all these. We're not going to use a palette. We're going to do everything on our table because we're going to be scraping stuff. I also have Decopage Matte Medium to actually glue the paper down. And I've got my typical brush bucket and palette knife and heat gun and all that stuff. Okay. Now I'm going to be showing all the details when making this, so if you're more advanced, you can fast forward ahead to the video. Now now last year I created a bunch of these little things, and it's from my Apple book. This was actually in here, and I will never ever use a glue stick to glue these down because they crack. Okay, it's not flexible. I'll only use this or double-sided tape. But this is a book of nothing but apples, and this was here, and I'm going to be using this as my inspiration, but I'm going to make the apple red. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here. Now, you can make it this way, you can make it this way, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do it this way and let this guide me. First thing I want to do is I want to get some stuff down on the paper. Now, I'm going to be putting on a bunch of different colors. You can use whatever you want. Okay, whatever you want. I'm going to put my colors down right on my mat. Okay, burnt sienna doesn't want to be used. Okay, and with this here, I let the piece, this is derelict, I let the piece guide me. I don't have a vision in mind what I'm looking for. I let the piece guide me, so it grows. It develops a life force on its own. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of weird, eh? But that's the way I create my funky art. I'm a portraiture artist by nature, and my people and pets, those, I have a plan. Those are formal. This is my fun time. This is what I do so I don't go insane. Okay, a little bit of black. All right. Brushes. My favorite number 8 Bristle Bright. I use this for stenciling and really rough work. I've got a, these are soft grip brushes, and I've got a number 6 filbert, a number 4 round, and a number 8 flat. Numbers on brushes mean nothing to me. I use the biggest brush that I'm comfortable with when painting. Okay? Oh, look. I got paint all over me already, and I haven't even started. Phthalo green. Ooh, bad color to get stained. So, your typical supplies as well. Baby wipes, paper towel, masking tape, all that other stuff. Now, I'm painting on a Ranger craft mat because it's no stick, and I can actually use a heat gun to dry right on this, and it's not going to damage anything. So, oh, and I've only got, oh, there's a challenge. That's it for paper towel. I'll have to go and find some more. Let's get some texture on here. I'm going to come in with my Bristle Bright, and I'm going to go into Yellow Deep. And the whole thing with this piece, grunge. Do not make it formal and pretty. Okay, just going to kind of get that around there. What? That's right to the corner. There we go. Keep it rough. Rough, rough, rough. Okay. And let's see. I'm going to put that in water. And because we did more scraping than anything else, we can keep going. I don't care if paint goes on the back of the card because I'm going to be painting that at the end anyways. Now this is where the texture starts coming in. We're going to put all the texture down first, and then we're actually going to paint the stuff after that. With the book paper or this torn piece of paper being the last thing that goes on. So let's see. Where do we start? I have a whole bunch of stuff where I may use or may not use. I don't know. Let's get some of this. And let's do a double track here, like so. And we'll do another one like that. Okay. And I will just, oh heck, let's put some white paint in there. Just take my brush and just kind of brush it out. And no, not white. Let's use blue-gray. And this is a lot, the kids love doing these. I should tape it, yes. Am I going to? No. And we layer and layer and layer. Do I care if stuff gets all misaligned? No. Okay. What else can we use to add texture? Oh, let's do something here. Let's think of that. What can we do with that? How about some Yellow Deep? Not Yellow Deep, Dare Yellow. The blue should be dry first. Now this here, don't even think that you have to follow my instructions to a T. Let me just dry the blue first. Don't feel that you have to follow my instructions to a T. This is just a organic piece that has a life on its own. You can do it any way you want. You can use any colors you want. I was actually pondering using transparent red iron oxide for this because I love that vintage look. Then I can take a little bit more Yellow Deep with a bit of burnt sienna. Just come around a bit more. Take my paper towel and just kind of wipe. Wherever I want it dark. and wipe it back. Let's do something here. I could also take my stencil, okay, move it down a little bit, and now take a lighter color, so I can take down just more of the yellow deep. Like so. Even go down towards this because it's just going to make a different layer. This is glazing, or glazing color. Okay. Beauty. Sometimes when you do this stuff here, you get another piece of artwork right on the back. Let's see, so that takes care of that. What else can we do? I want to do some scraping. I love scraping. Let's do circles. I want to do circles or want to do this? I like this is like more like a film strip. I'm going to do this one. And I'm going to use, okay, now I need paper towel. I'm going to use red. Thick. Okay. Baby wipe. And press. These are the most fun projects because they're never the same. You can actually use this for a piece of artwork as well. And some blues coming up. You know what? I must have some type of water-soluble blue on top of this thing here. See, some blues coming up. And you can take your baby wipe and you can actually clean part of the baby wipe and pull out a little bit of paint. Now, if you want to really put up a lot of paint, put some, cover your paper with some gesso. All right. So we have that. Now, what else can we do? Oh, let's scrape some white. Oh, no, let's do some texture. Let's do some texture. I'm not going to load it everywhere. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, that's got to go in water right away. And what I'm looking at doing is taking a torn piece of paper here, but I'm thinking I want to do a book print. And then put the apple here, then the A right on top. That'll be really cool. I can't do a mixed media piece. Well, this really isn't mixed media, it's all acrylics, without doing something with bubble wrap. What I also want to do is I want to scrape some white in here. So I'll go to my texture tools. I want to find one with pointy, small pointy edges. And go into some white. And drag some lines there. Can also go into a little bit of red. Put some lines in there too. This immediately in water. And now the bubble wrap. I'm going to go into white. Find one that's got a lot of nice texture on it. Yay! I love bubble wrap. Really grungy. That's what we're looking for. Okay, kitchen wipe. Now I got to clean some of this down here. And I'm thinking I want to do one more last thing with red. And let's see, I'm going to put a little bit of red right here. And what am I going to do? Oh, I'll just use a palette knife to kind of... I don't want to cover everything. I want to use that paper in water right here. Yeah, perfect. There really isn't any mistakes you can make with this stuff. Okay, now I have to let this dry. And I'm going to get a heat gun to dry this, and we can actually leave the paint on here while I do some more stuff. But what I want to do now is glue that paper down. And I'm thinking, so if I, where's that stencil? So yeah, so I'll just do that. How about there? And then I'm going to paint my apple right here. Beauty. So I'm going to get my heat gun quickly. Very short time. Don't do it this close for a very long time, otherwise you're going to burn your acrylics. And I'm going to take some decoupage. Oh, if I can open the container. And what I didn't bring out was a grungy brush. I don't use any of my really good new brushes in decoupage because it's glue. I use my old brushes. Oh, I got paint on this book plate. Oh, darn. Darn. I do not want any paint on this. But I'm kind of stuck now, aren't I? I didn't want any paint on that. Okay. So I'm just going to take some decoupage. And I shall do it down here. Decoupage, if you're going to do a lot of this, put some rubber gloves on. This stuff, when it gets onto your fingers, it's really gluey. The adhesion is really strong on this. And usually I wouldn't care, but I have a cut on my finger and it just irritates it when I have to rub to clean my hands. Okay, brush back in the water, cap that. And my microphone got caught. Now, let's go here. I'm going to use a nice little round brush. A little bit of burnt transparent red iron oxide would be a lot nicer than this. So thin burnt sienna, and I'm just going to go and just tint it. Transparent red iron oxide is the same pigment as burnt sienna, but it's transparent. And I want the edges really dark to distress them. You can do this any way you want. You can also take a little bit of white, and that will knock that down. You try to use very little water because that'll just make the paper really wet. Okay. You know what? Let's do another stamp on this. I can do this. What do we want to color? We want to use blue. Let's use blue. thin blue right across, and this will end up being behind the letter A. Whoa. Okay. And take our baby wipe, press it down. And what I'm doing, I'm just wiping it back to really make it soft. Like so. Let's get the letter A in there. This I'm going to do in what? Let's do this in a soft green. Ooh, we have to color mix. We have to if you don't have a soft green, okay, you could phthalo green with yellow deep will work, but it's really intense. I don't like how dark, how bright this is. Load up a little bit of burnt sienna in it. A bit more yellow deep, but I do want it dark. Black might be a little bit too strong, but because we have a lot of red in here, green will make a beautiful, beautiful accent for the A. Let's throw in a little bit of black in here. Oh, there we go. Okay, that was it. I don't like to use black when color mixing, but sometimes it's just necessary. And we're going to get our... Oh, I found a paper towel. You notice that I'm not stopping to get the paper towel? Okay. And let's stencil right. Whoopsie, I moved. I'm in such a hurry. These pieces I do fast because it's all based on ideas that come into my head. I wish that I could find a course out there to teach me how to do lettering. I end up using a lot of computer fonts for my letters. And I tried doing calligraphy, I couldn't do it. And I don't like to say that I couldn't do it. I had so much trouble doing it. Awesome. This stamp? No, watch this. Okay, let me just quickly dry this. I want to show you something before that dries. Okay, paper towel. Oh, I don't have any more paper towel. I'll turn this upside down. If you take your stencil, okay, and take your baby wipe, and then clean your stencil, you put the paint back on the paper, and actually should be a paper towel, not a baby wipe. Look at that. Neat, eh? That way you don't waste anything. Okay, that takes care of that. Now, for the apple. The apple, it's so easy to do freehand. It's so easy to do freehand. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little filbert brush with red and go into that yucky green mix. And we're going to make it a little bit darker. Green with red makes it very dark and then toned down. And all we're going to do is we're going to paint. So think of a round shape. So let's make a round shape. Okay. Let's just paint a rough circle. You're probably thinking, this woman teaches art? Okay. Now just bring it down a little bit. Like a little rectangle. And I think I need to get a bit more paint in here. And just kind of finish out the edges. Just kind of then touch. Okay, and then go round. All an apple is, depending on the apple you're painting, is a circle with a little rectangle on the bottom. There's your apple. Now, I'm going to get close up, because we're not really doing a lot of color mixing here. Same brush, go into a speck of black. Now let's make a happy face right here. Is that dark enough? Not really. A little bit more black. So your dirty brush plus black, another happy face, like so. Okay? There we go. So this will be that center part of the apple. And while we're here, you can still see some of the stenciling through. That's fine. Take a little bit of yellow. Now this yellow, which one is this? This yellow, yeah, this is semi-transparent, so it's not going to do a lot. Let's touch in a little bit of white in there. Okay. All right. You could also, if you want to stamp, further stamp on top of the apple. Then you could just go with a little bit more red. Just bring that down like this. Don't fill the whole thing. Okay. And let's get some more of that mix that we did for here, and then just go right about here just to shadow the apple right here. All right. Let's take a little bit of red with that yellow. And that yellow, I probably should bring out some Hansa yellow, but let's see how far we can get with this. This stuff is so transparent. Let's get a bit of white. See, I'm not going into anything formal here. There we go, make that opaque. So I just took my dirty brush to color, add a bit of white to it. There we go. And just have fun. Okay. Load just white. Like so. Just have fun. Pick up some red. Come back over. Just have fun. Let the texture show through. And let's take some more white. You want to think of a highlight. So this is where you want it nice and thick. Let's try that again. Nice and thick. And let's put a little bit here. And let's put a little bit here. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit more red. The red is also semi-transparent. And just going into the naphthol red. Because it's semi-transparent, I can glaze over some colors to really make them show up red. Now I'm going to get my heat gun. I'm going to dry the white. So that'll speed that up. Now while we're waiting, let's make some leaves. Yellow deep, a little bit of phthalo green, a little bit of black. You're looking for the color from the letter A. Now, with the round brush, what we're going to do is we're going to go touch, push, lift. Touch, push, lift. Okay? Touch, push, lift. Nice and soupy. Straight up. Touch, push, and lift. All right? I should reposition my camera because I'm running out of room. Now, up here we're going to have our stem. Let's paint that stem in. And take a bit more black. A bit bigger, there we go. You need dark to show light, so in order to show the the stem with good contrast. You're going to need that to really make it dark. Okay, for our leaf, touch, push, lift. Oh, one by itself looks really nice. But 3 is my favorite color. Touch, push, lift. Let's do another one here. Touch, touch, push, lift. There we go. One by itself was really nice. Okay. Now, looking here, can I do anything else? No, I have to let everything dry now. Take a little bit of yellow. Let's see if I can get this. A little bit of yellow. Derelid yellow. Just hitting it in a little bit of the leaf. Nice and thick. Thick, 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 thick. And some naphthol as hue right over the white. And because it's transparent, it's going to turn that highlight into pink. There we go. Take a little bit of the green in the dirty brush and just shadow this a little bit. I made my apple really crooked here. There we go. Really, really dark right in here. Green and naphthol red right underneath. You can also hit a little bit of that green in certain patches. Okay. I'm going to go into white on my brush, really bring that to a nice fine point. Nope, a bit thicker than that. Nice and thick. I could even hit that a little bit. Here we go. I've got too much white here, so what can I do with that? Well, let's take some of that yellow deep. With some water, let's stain that area. If it's too bright, just knock it down. Awesome, I like that. I like that. There. How fast was that little project? How cool was that? Now, I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to clean up all the paint. And let's take a look at what we've done. So this is all dry. Looks amazing. I love this. I absolutely love this. How vibrant and full of energy is this? This is so cool. The only thing I have left to do now is just to finish the white edge on here. The back, I'm just going to paint some color. Whatever, when I'm working on another painting, whatever paint I have left over, I'll usually take that and paint it into here. Okay, so it'll be just some random color. Not dark, it'll be light and probably transparent so I can get some of this. But I've got these little gloss enamel dabbers, and they're little sticks with sponges on them. Deco Art and Royal Nightingale both make them, and I just have the Americana ones handy. Yellow deep on my mat. Gonna tap into this and just go over the edge. Now, if you've seen my a lot of my other mixed media stuff, you'll notice that I do this with also do this with a cosmetic sponge. That's if I use ink. I prefer using paint, to be completely honest with you, because it's permanent. But if I'm doing paper art, I'll use the ink because the paper art is usually dry. It's usually dry media. Okay. And this just gets rid of the white. Cosmetic sponges are fine for this as well, but the problem is that the cosmetic sponge are a little bit big for what I need, and then you have to clean them really, really well But these are so easy to clean. That's it. This just show you what you can do. You can also, this looks like bubble wrap. Oh, see, now I have a new use for this. You know what? We have this paint here. Let's just grab a 3/4 inch flat. This is dry. And let's just paint this. Because the paint is part of the actual design, if some seeps underneath, it's no big deal. And I really just want to stain the paper. Paper towel. And by the way, you know how I was looking for paper towel? I had some right beside me. Didn't even see it. Look at that. Isn't that cool? You can come in here. Just showing you this because we have a few extra minutes. Rarely do I do a video where we have extra time. Okay. I can come in and just really darken those outside edges. Okay. And I'm going to get another dabber. I love that look. I love that look. All this time I've had these and I've never done these. I've never done this. And now I'm just thinking of another journal prompt. Pattern. I am obsessed with circles. Absolutely obsessed with circles. There we go. And that's the back done. What you can also do too, which is a really neat effect. Be careful how you do this so you don't ruin your art. If you've got paper on there, take your paper and then drag it. And you get that type of look. Okay? As long as it stays face down, you're not going to go wrong. See? So what I'll do now is I'll take this, let me dry it. Now if you let it air dry, all these lines here that are here, they're going to stay like that. I'm just doing this to save time. I would actually let this air dry. This is a technique that I use for watercolors, but watercolors aren't permanent. Then I'll come back, I'll do it again. This uses up all the paint. Dry it. No wasted paint. Okay, almost ready. And come back and do it again. And this is really cool too when you do it with multiple colors. And try it again. And the back is done. There we go. So we didn't waste any paint. I can turn around and re-stencil this if I want to. I'm not going to. I'm going to leave this just the way it is. And what I do is if I'm using these as journal prompt cards where I'm giving them to people or sending them to students or visitors on my blog, is I will actually just write my name, my website address, and the title of the prompt card and what it is. So like Gisele Grenier, depending if it's on my blog, artplace.ca. If it's for journaling, it'll be creativeartjournaling.com. Then I'll put here journal prompt card, alphabet prompt A. Okay, that type of thing. But there we go, all finished. I absolutely love this. So you'll have to join me next time now for alphabet prompt B. And do you have an idea of what I'm going to be using for that? I'll let you keep guessing. Until next time, stay inspired.